are you to stay for a race today? Leave it all out there. Nice and smooth. Let's get it all done all day long. I got a good feeling about today, guys. Do something pretty special today. Green, green, green.
Holy cow! We had the big one to end the race. Oh, we got a giant pack back here. Holy cow!
Here we come. Go, 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 go. Got to be kidding me.
Didn't even make it a lap.
Nice and smooth, nice and smooth. Wow, that was dumb.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Sorry. So tonight's gonna be a little weird. I don't have any cameras set up. Absolutely nothing. We're doing a track that I, quite frankly, didn't even know existed. So yeah, I didn't really do anything to prep for this as far as cameras go. But with that said, I was able to scour the internet and I found someone that graciously uploaded some custom cameras. So I'm gonna enlist those and use them tonight. But everything's gonna be done completely manual, and I have no hotkeys set up or anything. So apologies in advance if the stream rather is a little scuffed tonight, but I'll do my best. But with that said, in the booth with me, I have Bill Martin. As always, always a great co-host. Bill, how are you doing tonight?
Hello, hello. I am doing well. Looking forward tonight. Another West Coast short track that does not exist. And this is going to be an interesting one. This is a configuration that most people don't know about. They mainly use it for some of the midget series, some of the go-kart series, and some of the other short track series that they have out in the West Coast. So the Legends series, things like that, Bandoleros. So it's kind of on the infield of Irwindale, and it's a little short track, and it's a lot of fun. And it's these guys aren't going to be used to it, and good luck to them.
Yeah. Just looking at the track quickly while people were warming up, it looked like pit lane is on the inside. Or I'm sorry, because we're running the outer inner configuration. Pit lane will be on the outer part of the track that we're not using tonight. So that will be something interesting to watch. But as far as the grooves on the track itself, do you have any info on what that's like? Is this a multi-groove track, or is this going to be a single groove track?
It's kind of like a Langley Speedway on iRacing, in my opinion, as far as the infield corners go. So it's very flat on that corner. The outer loop does have a little bit more banking, but it's two different style corners that they're going to have to adjust for, and they just have to be really careful. They're going to need to learn how to drive the car off the right rear tire. They're going to have to save that right front. So it's all going to be about brake bias and just kind of, I don't know. I guess steering offset would definitely be a help. It is a fixed series. So you might want to go a little bit on the negative on the steering, maybe as much as 6% negative.
Yeah.
And I know your brake bias is just gonna have to be brake bias is different for everybody. So they're gonna have to figure that out pretty quick what their car runs faster with.
Yeah, absolutely. So just looking at a couple keys to the race tonight, looks like as always I have in uppercase bold print survival. So making sure you get around the chaos, because in these ARCA races the chaos ensues, and normally it doesn't take long for it to ensue. So obviously keeping the car clean, that way you're not rolling sideways. And I think also the quick repairs have been disabled permanently now for the K-9 Hero ARCA series. So um, smaller field tonight, 21 drivers. So hopefully that will be less cautions. Um, but we'll just have to wait and see. With that said, I think we should set over under for caution counts tonight. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with 15.
15? All right.
15.
Yeah, we can do that. All right, chat. So I'm gonna set over under. I'll do 15.5. That way, if we get 15 for cautions, is 15.5 over under, and be sure to load up all your points into that. And as I said before, we'll have for the person with the most points end of the season through all the series that we have here on Crown Jewel Racing Network, we'll have a special prize for a special someone. So be sure to go all in if you want, or maybe you have a strategy. Maybe you have a betting strategy that you've been using. But I wish I had like a leaderboard to see who was winning right now. Maybe I'll have to look
Yeah.
into that. But all right. So it looks like they're still practicing. I believe they're actually about to start qualifying here in just a second. But as I mentioned, 21 drivers in the field tonight. So a lighter field tonight. No, ARCA isn't dead. No, it's just people are tired. They're tired of coming out here and at these really short tracks and just cautions coming out. But then also this is the West series too, so there's some people who are just running national or just running East, so there's that as well.
The ARCA series, the car itself does need some help.
Yeah.
They do need to, and we all kind of said this was going to happen. It's so I can't imagine how much work goes into trying to set up one of these cars, getting it ready for one of these types of races, and my God, to get it right the first time is just not going to happen. So once there's an update, I think, which I already know is in the works, things are going to be better. Give the ARCA car some time. It's still one of my favorite series on iRacing, even though it's frustrating. But you get with a good bunch of guys in these cars, and you can have a lot of fun. So,
Yeah.
I'm actually working on a series for a Saturday night series up
Okay.
here, bringing back the old Bush North series type of racing. The short tracks with these type of cars, and it's a ton of fun. Everybody loves them.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. That sounds like it'd be a great time.
Bringing back the old days.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I think so if I heard correctly, we're running the inner outer configuration, and then we'll actually be back here to run the outer track only. So have a couple of races here at Irwindale. Believe they actually retired this track, and it's gonna be apartments soon or something. But through the power of iRacing, we revived it, and we'll be racing there tonight. So be sure to grab a cozy blanket, maybe a nice drink. It can be soda pop or maybe something a little harder, but be sure to get all cozy because we'll be here. We'll be here for just a little while.
I don't think we're going to see. I think I'm going to be off on the. I think it's going to be under this week as far as cautions.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. And you know what, people? So I'm gonna actually extend that prediction. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna delete this because I accidentally set it for 2 minutes. I meant to set it for much longer than that. So if you already betted, you will get your points back. I promise. This isn't a scam. This isn't conspiracy or whatever. All you gotta do is just rebet and rebet your points. So let's see. Let me over under, and then I'll set it for the correct amount of time. I'll do 10 minutes. All right, predictions up again. Sorry about that. I'm not the brightest guy, so I do make mistakes. All right, cool. So it looks like they're qualifying now. Let's head over and take a look at the cars going around the racetrack.
And there it is. Now you can definitely see what I mean. And this, I know there's not many drivers here that are going to know what I'm talking about, but this track now is a lot closer to my hometown track of Seekonk Speedway. No straightaways. You're turning pretty much the whole time. So that's what it looks like.
Yeah, and
but the problem is, whoops, sorry, go ahead, bud.
Oh no, I was just gonna say real quick. I can point out you can see the rubber getting put down on the exact configuration we'll follow. So where you see that dark rubber is what we're running tonight, and then that outer part is going to be pit lane. Go ahead, sorry.
And also the trouble spots that you're going to see is you see where that black mark crosses the white and yellow line entering the corner there. You're going to see this car right now crossing them right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be the trouble zones because it's a elevation difference. So as they come off the corner, they're going to be trying to slow down. They're going to be off the throttle and maybe even a little bit of braking. That elevation change is going to change how the rear end works, and it might come around on you. So watch out for those corners, for that corner there. And then the other side of the track, the corner coming off the track is going to be slick. So they're going to have to watch that throttle.
Kind of like Phoenix, where you have the transitions. You might see some similar some sort of similar disturbance to the car going through those. But yeah, definitely a point of contention, especially when you're side by side racing in these new cars. So be sure to keep an eye on that. I kind of feel like we're gonna have some people miss pit road too. We might have some cone fatalities tonight. We'll have to wait and see. But
well, actually, believe it or not, the pit road entrance is fairly easy. You just stay high.
Yeah.
The problem is going to be not breaking the speed limit.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's a good point because you're coming right at the end of the straight. People are gonna have to slow way down. Yeah.
If you race this track right, you will never be full throttle.
Okay.
So, however, right there you can see the normal pit lane area.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if maybe they are going to use that.
Yeah, during warm-up, they were lined up on the outer section that isn't being used. So,
yeah,
I imagine that's what they'll use, but we'll just have to wait and see.
We'll find out. Yeah.
Cool. I think about everybody is done. Just taking a quick look at the qualifying results. We have Jacob Quill, who's currently on the pole. Joe Stafford P2, Waylon Nelson third, and then Nathaniel Campbell, just behind Nelson II in fourth. But I believe everybody who's signed up has ran a qualifying lap now. And anyone new that just joined the stream, I see a lot of people coming in. The prediction for the over-under is up already, ready to be gambled on. It's currently at 15.5. Smaller field tonight. Don't know a whole lot about as far as the difficulty of this track, but we're expecting less cautions tonight, so we have that set to 15.5. Be sure to get your points in for that. Yeah. So we see the grid lining up there. We can go ahead and take a look at the starting order in just a second. Again, I have to do all these cameras manual, so give me 1 second here. All right, that's a good one. So as I just mentioned, Jacob Quill will be starting first place on the pole. Joe Stafford P2, Waylon Nelson II in third position. Nathaniel Campbell will be starting fourth. Aaron Longworth fifth. Richard Myers 6th. Noah Hunt 7th. Mark Morton 8th. Carson Klinghoffer 9th. Patrick McPeak 10th. Zach Hummel 11th. Joe Gibbons 12th. Michael Deach 13th. Craig Martin 14th. Jonathan Ledger will be starting the 15th spot. Garth Griswold 16th. Bob Baker 17th. Cody Porter 18th. Jacob Fifield 19th. Jared Fowler 20th. And Trevor Baden will be in the 21 spot.
Yeah, Vaden's starting 21th. I don't know if he must have hit something or whatever. He is not used to starting in the back of the field. So, and neither is that Double Zero. So I don't know if those two just, if these were penalties or what. But yeah, those two not used to seeing start in the back.
Yeah, and then also Cody Porter getting moved to the back. Not 100% sure if that's EOL. I know he had been involved in several instances past couple of weeks, but look for him to move forward as this race progresses.
You know, fast cars in the back, and it's going to be interesting to see. You see the pace car. There's that transition I was talking about earlier, where they come off into the corner. That's going to be turns 3 and 4 as you see him come through. Pace car already off.
Green flags in the air here at Irwindale.
You see the 77 get a little bit of a jump.
So far, so
75,
good.
keeping tough on the outside. Stafford trying to make that outside line work. You see the one car going way up, brushing the wall. Myers, he's falling back rapidly through the field. That allows some of these other cars to move up. The 42 of Longworth has moved up a couple of spots. He's in 5th. Campbell 4th. Nelson has moved into that third spot. Out front, though, it's still the 75 of Stafford being followed by Quill closely. That's going to be a battle, I think, most of the race tonight. See Quill in that bright yellow car trying to fight back on the inside. It's kind of the manufacturer battle right now out front between Toyota and Ford, I believe, or Chevy. I'm not quite sure what.
Right now we have a Ford and Toyota P1, P2.
Yeah, that's why. That's the reason why it looks so funny. It's a Mustang. But you see these guys battling hard to the corner. The 77 right up on the bumper of the 75. The 77 choosing to take that higher line. Now, this is the difference between turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Turns 3 and 4, as you see there, are flat, really hardcore, really short track-ishy. You get on this outside line here, you see 77, and he's going to run that higher line. It's a progressive banking. So it's similar to the Lucas Oil Park in Indiana, so that's why maybe that 77 car is running up there. But that's the only similarity there. So you have two different style of corners, two different style of race lines that you can take in 1 and 2.
Yep, and we're going on board right now with, who are we on board with? Give me 1 second. Waylon Nelson II, just to get an eye of what kind of line these guys are running. You see just ahead Jacob Quill and Joe Stafford fighting for P1.
And you can see just how rough that transition is. Waylon Nelson doing a heck of a job coming on and off right there. See what line he's taking, a little bit higher line, and we got trouble. Oh, I thought we had a car out front there.
Oh, it does look like we have quite the gaggle of cars just behind. Let's see if we can get a better view at this. Yeah, 31 of Zach Hummel, Noah Hunt, and Carson Klinghoffer all battling for P7 currently.
And you're seeing a couple of definite different lines right there. One car going really low. We
And
under caution.
yep, actually caution's out, so we'll take a look at that.
Was that the 8 car?
Yeah, 8 car. Looks like Joe Gibbons.
Got a little loose right there coming in, and
Yep.
just like what I said, it came in off just before that transition where there's that difference in elevation. That's looks like what he got in trouble, and I'm wondering if he got his lawsuit notice in that 8 car.
Yeah, you called it. I mean, that transition's going to be a handful for these drivers. So be sure to keep an eye on that.
One of the type of cars that they race at this track on this inner loop like this is the mini stocks. Now, if you've ever seen a mini stock looks basically like the car you're looking at right now, except a quarter of the size. It's supposed to be a go-kart, but they're extremely fast. And you'll get kids getting some incredible speeds coming in on this little loop right here. You can look it up on YouTube. They have videos everywhere. They run bandoleros here, legends cars, midgets, figure eights they used to run at this track. This place used to be legendary for its figure eight races. Um, it's just another one that's gone, you know. California, what do you expect? I love those big mirror numbers on that 91 car or the 97 car, 91 and Nelson. Love those big bright mirror letters. The numbers, I should say.
And looking through the field, it actually looks like we had some dropouts. Cody Porter actually showing us out of the race. So is Trevor Vaden and Jared Fowler, Jared Fowler. So not exactly sure what happened there, but yeah, the Cody Porter always quick each week. So weird to see him drop out like that. Pace car is off, taking the right turn to go off actually, and waiting for the restart here. 75 is off from the high line there. Great jump by Joe Stafford.
Nice jump by Stafford, and you see he takes that higher line as well with the 16 of Campbell. They're going to get a bunch of momentum off that corner, but it's going to be that inside line that looks like it has a little more grip as you see Quill coming in underneath him and getting ready to head off into turns number 1 and 2. Now you're seeing Quill run that bottom line of this progressive banking, and now the 75 of Stafford is just barely sneaking forward on the outside line with all that momentum. Once again, it's Mustang versus Toyota right here.
Car on the outside, slow.
3 wide right there. That could have been a lot worse than what it was.
Yeah. Not sure who that was up top, but now the 91 is looking on the outside of the 75 here, but he's going to get tight and float back just a bit. 75 in the wall, getting loose. He's still outside, and Nathaniel Campbell and Mark Morton able to move forward now behind Jacob Quill.
They had all kinds of a backup. I'm not sure what happened. All of a sudden, Morton, Campbell, and Nelson were right on everybody's bumper. Now, all of a sudden, you have Nelson in the 91 falling back, as well as Stafford. They're in 5th and 6th spot right now, and they're falling back even further. Out front, it's Quill battling with the 4 of Morton. Campbell trying to stay tight around Nelson, but now he falls back a little bit. It's going to be Campbell and Nelson is starting to battle pretty hard right here. And behind them, those 2 cars with Stafford and Hummel, they're battling pretty hard. They're starting to stand it out now side by side. Nope, now they're front to back. See that transition there? The 91 get real squirrely coming off the corner. These transitions are going to be hard for these guys to figure out, especially once they get laps on their tires. And once again, we've got another caution. Let's see what we have here. We see the 1 car way down low.
45
the
Noah
45. Ooh. Man, he just clipped that wall and it threw him hard into that outside.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that car is still running.
Yeah, no safer barrier on that wall. That was a hard hit.
Yeah, they do have a 1 fast repair, and I'm afraid he might use it up.
I think they actually might have removed the fast repair. After the race before or after Five Flags, I think they removed the fast repair.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I needed it. I mean, I liked it.
Yeah, but now we have the 75 of Joe Stafford sitting P5 after getting tight and going up the track. Able to keep it out of the wall, but that allowed Waylon Nelson, Nathaniel Campbell, and Mark Morton to slide underneath him there. So now he'll be starting 5th on the inside.
I actually think that Stafford did clip the wall. Just I think he caught it just behind that front tire, and lucky for him. But I love that paint job on the 91 car. This is the second time I brought it up, but I don't know what it is, man. That's flashy. I'm digging it.
Let's see if I get a better view at that. Yeah, the 91
That
shiny.
thing.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother. Looks like it just came from the feeding factory. He gets my vote for nicest car of the race. See him side by side once again, coming out of turns 1 and 2, coming down the back straight, getting ready to go green one more time. Already at lap 25 out of 150. The laps clicked off pretty quick here.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we've had cautions, but good racing in between them. As you see the pace car roll off there to the right, waiting on the restart here. Green flag here again at Irwindale.
Great jump by Morton on that inside lane in that 4 car, and he's going to squeeze out front a little bit, but the momentum of Quill on that outside is going to carry him. But he has trouble with the transition.
Oh,
It goes way high.
And that's exactly what we just saw. And he's going to get a deep dive on the 4 there. He's going to be on the inside line now.
Yeah, but now these guys are battling really hard, burning up those tires. It's only lap 27. Let the guy go out front for a little bit, settle down, then go attacking. So these guys burn up their tires, they're just going to drop like a rock to the back of the field.
Yeah, I can tell these guys are having a blast here, though. I mean, they're throwing those things around.
Yeah, this is a fun track. It really is, this real loop.
And you see Waylon Nelson on the inside there. He's able to get the pass done on the 77. Let's see if he can finish it here. 77 up into the wall.
He's going to get hurt by that. He's going to fall back a couple of positions. Now he's battling side by side with the 91.
He's able to keep
they kind
him
of get
off.
into each other a little bit.
91 going all the way to the apron to get some sort of positioning. You see the 75 of Joe Stafford right on the bumper again. 77 of Jacob Bill going to be able to keep his spot. 91 looking for some sort of alternative line to keep his speed up. And you see the 75 dive under the 91 there. He's in the exact position that the 91 just was for Quill. Doesn't seem like the bottom line is really working on getting a pass done.
Quite yet, but I'll tell you what, Quill is loving watching these guys battle it out because it's kind of saving his tires a little bit. But now they figured it out now. Now they're front to tail, and they're going to be on Quill's rear bumper in a second. And all that time he just spent pulling down his tires is not going to help him. But that 4 car of Morton is just waving goodbye to everybody. He's pulling out this thing almost to a second now as he's figured out the line on this thing. Very smooth. You see him getting just below that yellow line and getting a good run off the corners. So Morton looking real good so far this race. See him there pulling out even more, just under a second now. Quill's starting to trying to reel him in just a little bit, but just can't do it. I think Morton's just getting off the corner a little bit better. Maybe Quill might have burned up that right front a little bit more than what he wanted to. Nelson's starting to get his grip back and forth. Here comes Stafford again. He's not giving up. He's all over the back of the yellow car of Campbell, and now he gets around him at this point, and Campbell is trying to battle back with him. Longfellow's there. McPeak has moved up, and Hamel has gone down to 9th position now. And in the 55 car is Martin. He's in 10th spot. No relation. I'm much better looking than he is. Looking through now, we're out in his front in Stafford's car. You see him dive to the inside of the 91. Guy's driving real hard deep into that corner. See how rough that transition is right there?
Yeah,
That's where
yeah.
these guys are getting into a little bit of trouble. But every one of them is sticking those the right left side tires just under the line in turns 3 and 4. That's going to help the car rotate through the corners just a little bit better on this flat section. Yeah, right there, just a little bit. There's Waylon Nelson II. He's battling his way back up front in the 91. He's side by side with the 75.
Yeah, and you see we're 3 wide because we have some lap traffic there. 75, 91 able to slide past the 11. But side by side coming on to the, I believe this is the backstretch here. 75 going to go way low here. Hoping to get some position on the 91, but the 91 just has too much momentum up high.
Now, when you're racing short track at Langley, Lanier, South Boston, especially South Boston, you kind of use that inside yellow line to kind of help your car rotate through that flat section, and it helps you get a better run off the corners. That's exactly what you're doing here. And you're
We have a
seeing the
caution
91
out.
and the 75 giving a little bit of the chowder to each other. Seems as if they're unhappy with each other, but this is the third caution now on lap 42.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it looks like it has to do with the lap traffic. You see the 11 there of Bob Baker.
Bob Baker.
And there's,
Oh,
I mean, that was an aggressive move by the 42. I understand it's a lap car, but I don't know what he was expecting
Bob
there.
has the right to hold the line. You know, it's yeah, Bob just got run over there.
Yeah. There's really just no, I mean, no place to hide here at this track. Every bit of this track is being used up by the field, so definitely have to be careful getting around lap traffic.
Now, these ARCA cars go really tight on you anyways during a race. That's one of the issues that people have since they've updated it, excuse me. But this is a track where you're really going to save that right front, and some of these guys are having issues with it. So,
Yep, and we did just see Joe Stafford go into the pit, getting some fresh tires there, and Noah Hunt also in the pit, though I think he was trying to get a bit of damage repaired as we saw him earlier get into that transition wall.
He hit that wall hard.
Yeah.
And let me take a look at the paint scheme on that 55 car. I want to make sure that he qualifies to run that last name on it. It is a Mustang, though, man.
What is that on the hood there? Oh, okay.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Race control, EOL to the 55, please. He needs to change his last name or something. He can't run that paint scheme. Oh, man. Well, either way, these cars are 2x2 getting ready to go green one more time. This time it's Morton and Nelson on the front row. And we'll see what happens here. You see Morton get a good jump on that outside line, and he's going to have all kinds of room to enter any which way into turns 1 and 2. Great jump by that 4 car. And then 91 moved into second place. You see the 25 of Klinghoffer has moved up into third. Let's see what he can do. We haven't seen him out front at all this race. Now all of a sudden he's here. Behind him is Campbell in the 16, that bright yellow car. He's trying to make his way forward. 16-year-old driver, Carlson Klinghoffer. 16 years old. 16 years old, and he's running laps that fast. Somebody wrecked that kid.
Yeah, I mean, you see him diving underneath the 91 there, Waylon Nelson, and the 91 disappearing on the screen for just a minute, but the outside groove is where all the momentum is currently.
But Carson, he's figured out that line through 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Gets those tires just below that yellow line, just helps that car rotate real nice. See it right there, goes right around the corner. Great little line, good run off. Nice smooth little drive for the 16-year-old in that 25. behind him is Campbell, who has a whole bunch of time racing. He's looking pretty racy right now, but I'm wondering if he's starting to settle in, maybe kind of hoping for a little longer run so he can battle out to the end of this thing.
Yep, and you love to see the aggression by the 25 going under to the 91 there, but part of me feels like this is just one of those tracks. If you try to make a pass and it doesn't work out, you're setting yourself up to get past. So definitely a risk reward with trying to set up a pass here. Currently, I mean, as tires wear, then things could change, but currently, bottom line's not going to get it done. I don't think you just have enough speed down there.
Sometimes if your car is a little bit tight, you might want to enter a little bit lower like that car is doing. You see in the 75, he's making that bottom line work. So that's probably the line-saving line. And that 16-year-old probably has more experience than most of us on running the short track because he's getting it done right now. He's setting himself up to be at the end of this thing.
Yep, you saw 75 going for tires there, so he's working his way back up through the field. And sorry, folks, I had the tower off there, so no one knew anything about who was where, but see the 25 trying to use up that bottom again, trying to get the slide job done. 91
he's gonna
checking up, and he's actually able to clear the 91 there, so he gets the pass done. That's the 25 of Carson Klinghoffer, able to get in front of Morton there. And you have to think maybe Morton just used up his stuff running the outside lane there. I mean, tire wear obviously very prevalent going through these transitions, especially. There's a lot of heat in the tires, so have to think maybe that played a role in that. Oh, Mark Martin actually gets in the wall. He clips the wall. He's trying to rescue the car. He does, but he's continuing to drop back now.
Yeah, one thing that scares me is we do have tires that can blow out. One of the new features on iRacing. So
sorry, Bill. I have to make a quick correction. 91 is not Mark Martin. It's Waylon Nelson II. I've been saying the wrong name for the past 30 seconds, so sorry about that. But
I've never done that in my life, so I can't believe you did that. And unfortunately, you're seeing Nelson falling back to 5th spot after hitting that wall, and he's praying for a caution right now. I think a lot of these guys are going to wait till lap 75 at least to pit, and then you're going to see the tire changes. Some of these guys have already pitted, and I don't know if I want that many laps on a set of tires here.
Yeah, one of the cars that just pitted was the 75 here, as I mentioned just a minute ago. Has several cars. Let's go on board with him just to see what kind of runs he's getting. Yeah, he's definitely running a more conservative line. Looks like really letting off on that throttle, letting that thing settle at the bottom before he trying to minimize the input he's putting in.
He's saving. He's not even breaking 6,000 RPMs. Watch this. Well, he's just barely breaking 6,000 RPM. He's saving that car. So Joe Stafford, he's sneaky. He's a good car driver. He won last week. So, you know what? I got to be honest with you. The way he drives, especially in that number 75, some of you may not remember the old Butch Miller who used to run the ASA racing series. It reminds me so much of him, Stafford does.
Okay. Yeah, any Butch Miller fans in the chat? Don't know.
That was way back when you used to see like Mark Martin and a lot of those guys running ASA. Although Butch Miller ran ASA for probably 30 years. Wouldn't be surprised if he's still running somewhere. I guarantee he has something to do with auto racing still.
Yeah, and that car looks like it's not behaving for the 91. Don't know if he fried up his tires, but he is making the bottom work though on the 69 there of Patrick McPeak. So it looks like he is sliding all over the track. Waylon Nelson trying to keep that thing on the bottom. Let's go on board with him real quick.
Yeah, he's doing everything he can just to hang on to the. He can't even keep it down to the bottom. Yeah, there's nothing. I think he knocked the toe out of the front of that thing, and it's just all messed up.
With that
Yeah, it's no
said,
right, front, left, and
yeah, he
I
was
think he
able to
definitely
get
has
around
wheel
the
damage.
69, but yeah, I mean, you see him loose out of the corner there. He's pushing that thing to the razor's edge right now, but obviously doesn't have the same pace that he had earlier on, falling far back from Campbell, Klinghofer, and Morton. So
Yeah, well, 5 more laps, and we have our halfway break, so this might work out for him. Just keep hanging on, 91. Just
yep,
keep hanging on. Out front, though, it's all Morton at this time. He's got almost a 1.5 lead over Klinghofer. So we've seen Klinghofer move his way up, the 16-year-old, and now we see Morton just kind of running away from this thing. But we have also seen Klinghofer saving a lot. So whether he's saving for this halfway break or if he's going to make a run for maybe even a further stretch. Now, we've only seen a couple of cautions the first 75 laps of this race.
yeah.
Do you think it's worth holding on and trying to stretch out that run, get the track position, hold off, and hope that you get a caution later on that you can come in for your new tires, or are you going to change them now no matter what?
Yeah, I mean, if you've been running a saving line, then I think staying out could be the play. I'm not 100% sure how many sets they have, so
I believe
obviously
it's
like
only one.
only one set.
I believe.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, so if I haven't abused my stuff, then staying out, getting good track position, and then trying to avoid any cautions that might come out post halfway caution, which we should be getting here in just a second. Could be the play. It's definitely a viable strategy. We should see the caution coming out for the halfway point.
Maybe there isn't one this race. I don't think they may. They may not. There it is.
There it is.
The 4th caution. So we've had 4 cautions.
Yep.
Halfway through the race.
3 natural
It's been
cautions, one stoppage. So what, the over under was 15.5. Like look, I mean, I think everyone betted the over, so that might not have been the best play.
Yeah, I told you I'm going to go with the under. So but now, I mean, some of these guys are staying out.
Yeah,
Bob Baker, he's getting his lap back. Stafford, now we know Stafford pit real early. He pit around lap 45.
yep.
So he's going to have a ton of laps on his tires.
Yeah, we saw him running that saving line. Is that going to be enough to keep him competitive here? Obviously, Stafford, very fast driver. So between the talent and obviously the more wear on his tires, it's going to be interesting to see if he can hold off the other competitors.
Yeah, he's still going to have 30 laps more on his tires. I mean, you're not talking 10 laps.
Right.
So, I mean, that's a whole Saturday night feature on a short track.
Yep, and there's no cushion of drivers behind him either. So directly behind him, Michael Deitch on brand new tires, and Mark Morton on brand new tires. Carson Klinghofer, who was very fast that last stint on brand new tires. So tall order for Joe here, getting started for the second half of this race.
Now let's get that 55 car driver. Let's see if we can pull him up here real quick.
Say 55?
Yeah, or are we about ready to go? Not.
Pace car lights are off, actually.
All right, next caution, we're going to bring up the 55.
Okay, Craig Martin, right?
Yeah, I'm going to give him a hard time about his paint scheme.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get it. I'll make sure he's in the Discord so I can pull him up.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I got a good idea. Why don't we set up our crank it up? When this goes green flag, we just won't say anything. We'll let it go green and let the fans just ride it out for a few laps.
Yeah, I can do my best. I don't have cameras set up for that because it was.
Oh, that's right.
Last second, but I mean, we can try to do something like that. I'll cook something up. I'll do something.
All right.
I'll
Pace
do it
car is
live.
off. Let's
Yep.
do it live. I'm gonna stay quiet.
Pace car is off and going through the restart zone here. You see the 75 Joe Stafford staying out with great track position and a great restart. Huge wreck.
Oh man, not sure who that was.
See cars getting stacked up. Currently looking at the 31 of Zach Hummel, and you see the 25 and Mark Morton come together.
Oh, Morton and the 25 car get together. It looked like Morton slid up the track and just barely nudged the 25, and a tough break for those guys. Cold tires, you know.
Yeah, you see that transition there. 25 is coming down a little bit too steep.
Little bit, yeah. So both of those drivers could have given a little give and take right there. I think that 16-year-old might be using language that he shouldn't be using for a 16-year-old right now.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, and that just shows the move that Joe Stafford made to get this track position after that fadeaway restarts. This might be the right call because a couple of fast drivers involved in that wreck, not taken out completely. They definitely have compromising damage to the race cars. So, but looks like
one guy who's quietly snuck his way up is that 69 car of McPeak. He's fast driving a lawnmower, and behind him in the 00 is Mr. Clark W. Griswold himself in the family truckster. He's moved his way up into the 6th spot.
Yes, sir.
Is Mr. Griswold.
Man, this race is flying by. Already on lap 87 of 150.
Yep.
Some great green flag racing here. See them 2x2. Joe Stafford still in command of the field. Pace car lights are off. Just behind him.
There's one guy, excuse me, who's starting on the outside road that I haven't mentioned all night for a reason, because every time I do, we'll see him starting on the outside in that 81. There he goes there. He gets a great jump on the 75, and he's going to have all kinds of room going into 1 and 2. And it looks like he prefers that outside line as he rolls off the corner nice and gently down. Great line through 1, 3, and 4 as he comes off the corner. A couple of cars going way up high. I think these cold tires are kind of hurting these guys just a little bit. You know, they're supposed to be a little harder compound, so I don't know if that's what the problem is or what. But you see the 91 car right underneath the back end of Dyke. And they're starting to battle just a little bit now. You see the 75 car move his way up underneath the 91 and Nelson, and they're starting to battle a little bit more. Nelson gets a little bit squirrely coming off the corner and gets a good run as Deitch goes up high.
Into the wall hard.
Yeah.
Deitch up into the wall hard.
You see what I mean? I should have just kept my mouth shut, man.
He was pushing that race car super hard on that restart. Now, was he the leader coming to the line there for the restart?
He was, and now Deitch is falling all the way back in the 4th spot. In front of him is the 4 of Martin, 75 of Stafford in 2nd, and Nelson is out front now. We've seen the 75 and the 4 lead. We haven't seen the 91 lead yet. This is his chance. He had issues earlier, was begging for a caution, got the caution, and now he's one of the fastest cars on the track because he's starting to pull away.
Yeah, let me set this up for you guys. So the 91 we saw had some pretty severe fall off last run by running this high line here. The car directly behind him, 75 of Joe Stafford, was staying out through the midway point caution. He's already on, I think it would be like 60 lap old tires at this point, maybe a little bit less. So can Nelson keep the car from falling off too severely and keep that lead? And,
but now we've seen Nelson hit the wall twice.
Yeah, and can Joe Stafford, does he have enough in his race car to get up to Nelson? But directly behind them, we have Morton, who has shown pace all night, was the leader for a while in that first stint, so he could just be stalking, waiting for his opportunity to pounce here.
I think Stafford is still saving his stuff a little bit. I think he's still waiting. He doesn't have the RPMs that the other cars do coming off the corner, and they're getting a little bit better runs, but he's maintaining just a nice, solid, smooth line in that 75 machine, and it's keeping everybody else behind him, especially Morton in that 4 car right now. You see the back end of the Mustang, which is a rarity. You never see the back end of a Mustang. You only see the front end in your rear view mirror. But now you're seeing them starting to battle real hard. Morton is all over the back of him. And we have another caution.
Yep, looks that way.
So, I think it was Bob Baker.
Don't see.
I saw the 11 cars slow down to go into the pit. I don't know if it was him or.
Let's try to look at it this way. So caution comes out. Got the whole track in view here. Oh, I see the top right of the screen there. Not sure.
Yeah, there it is.
Not sure who that was. Oh yeah, the 8 there gets into the 45, and Noah Hunt already has a damaged race car, so that impact didn't look too bad.
No, did those guys get into it before?
That's a good question. I don't remember them getting into each other. All I know is that Noah got into the outside wall in the transition there.
That's what it was. That's what it was. But look who's back, starting in that one position. Starting on the outside, I should say. I think the 91 took the inside lane. Lap 102, we have 48 laps to go. The story is Stafford's tires. Does he have enough tire left to keep up with these guys? Because almost every one of these guys, every car around him has fresher tires by at least 30 laps.
And you see the 91 get a great jump on the inside there. And I mean, yeah, as I mentioned, I personally think if Waylon Nelson II can manage his tires, this is his race to win here. But right behind him, you see Joe Stafford and the 4-car Morton.
What Nelson is hoping for is that Morton comes up and starts to challenge Stafford. Let those two battle it out a little bit. That's going to bring Campbell, McPeak, and everybody else in close, and he's going to be able to sail away. But I'm kind of watching that 69 car of McPeak. I don't know if he's struggling. He's been really tight coming off, it looks like. So.
Yeah, it does look like he has a bit of damage to that nose there. Don't know if that front splitter is just up a little bit, but don't think that would cause too much understeer.
Yeah, I'm not sure. McPeak's been very fast everywhere we've seen him, every series, so he's struggling right now. I'm not sure what happened to him earlier, but John Ledger got his car straightened out. He's back on the lead lap. And the next person down on the lead lap is Longworth, Hunt, and Baker. Those are the 3 guys battling for the battle of the lucky dog. Are we even going to have another lucky dog? Because the pace these guys are running, they're staying nice and clean. We're going to be done in the next 15 minutes.
Yeah, and last lap, Waylon Nelson ran the fastest lap of the race, so he is cooking that thing. Hopefully, he's saving those tires just enough. And you see just behind him, Stafford and Morton side by side going through the transition. 4-car on the bottom. He's gonna have to work hard to clear the 75 here. 75, does he have enough tire to run that outside? Being forced to run the outside now on those already worn tires. It's not exactly what the 75 is trying to do at this point of the race. And just behind him, Nathaniel Campbell would be the next to try to make a move on Joe, but Joe's not letting the 4-car go too easily. But don't think he's gonna have enough to get back to Morton at this point.
No, but I'll tell you what, Nelson was hoping that battle lasted a little bit longer. He did get a couple of car lengths, but he was loving it. And now you see him once again going really high in the corner of 1 and 2. I don't know if he's having a problem there or what, but we've seen him brush the wall a few times through that corner. The 4-car there get just a little bit squirrely. Looks like Nelson really likes that higher line. That higher line does help you go down the back straightaway with a little more momentum, and it does help you set up the entrance of 3 and 4. So I'm not quite sure if that's what he's doing. As you see him brush the wall again right there as you're on. Oh, sorry, that wasn't Nelson. Okay, well, that made me feel a lot better. That made me feel a lot better for the guy. You see him going around that corner. I'd like to see him not floor it coming down the front straightaway. There's no need to go full throttle at this track. You can go faster by going slower. I know that doesn't make sense, but it does.
No, I mean, basically just want to reach the maximum point of grip for those tires, not go over unnecessarily, because any slipping and sliding can result in time loss. I get it. But Nelson doing a great job keeping his pace up. He's starting to pull away just a bit, over a second of split now between him and Morton. So doing his job currently to hold that lead. Yeah, I think Joe's car is just falling off. Falling off a little bit more than he was hoping it would.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, one guy who's kind of been like a great white shark this whole race, just kind of sitting there waiting to strike, is that 16 car of Campbell. He's been around in that same position for the last 50 or so laps, just kind of waiting and hanging out. I don't know if he's been saving or what, but if he's got a lot more tire underneath that 16 car and he's just waiting to the end, those cars in front of him are going to have a lot to worry about. Because Campbell's running a very steady line, and it doesn't sound like he's pushing it too hard. You don't see a major drop or rise in the front of the car when he's on and off the throttle. So it makes me think that maybe he's saving just a little bit still. Now you're seeing McPeak move up. He's into 4th position, followed by McPeak is in 5th position. Hummel is in 6th. Griswold has moved up to the 7th position. Myers is back up with the 1. Deitch has worked his way into 9th, and Klinghoffer has moved his way into 10th position. Just outside there at 11 is that 55 car of Martin that we were hoping to get into the booth, but I think he was involved in that little mishap that we had.
Yeah, I didn't see him in the Discord. We see a bumper there, and the 81 of Deitch looks like he might have gotten to the wall again. That's the second time for him. You saw him up front with the leaders and getting up into the wall.
I just said his name. I think it's me. I really think it's... I've mentioned him twice. He was running on the outside on a restart. I mentioned his name. He's hit the wall twice.
Yeah, this might have been a transition issue. No, he just got tight and just went straight in that wall, and he hit the outer wall twice.
Yeah, you know, it's if that transition throws you off, it sends you up into the marbles, and that's what happens. You just can't make that corner. But it's all with that transition. Yeah. So now I've seen this a lot lately. I've seen these guys doing this, as you're seeing Nelson do. They try to cool their tires off by running up in that cooler track. The problem I have with that is that's where a lot of the marbles are, and you see the marbles right there. So
Yep.
when you're on the track, and you run over those marbles, you can hear it all hitting the car. Now let's go on board with the 91 and Nelson and just listen to all those pieces hitting.
Sure. Let me see here.
Now let's wait till he goes off. Now he's not going to do it. You watch. Now he's not going to do it on me. Now let's see if he does it. Yeah, he's staying high. Now listen to it all hitting.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So all that's getting all over your tires, and yeah, you can scrub them in, and I do get that, but that's what he's doing there, is he's trying to get all that crap off those tires. But he's trying to cool them down by running on that cooler track. But man, I don't know if it's worth the risk. We're gonna find out when they enter turn 1. Getting ready. Now let's watch that restart to see how Morton figures it out on the bottom line. Inside of him is the 75 behind him, and Morton spins his tires a little bit, which allows Nelson to get a great jump.
Yeah, he's gone.
And here
Nathaniel
it
Campbell
comes,
on the outside
Campbell.
of 75. And he's going to try to get the 3rd position here. Nathaniel Campbell's been running strong all season. Don't think he's had a podium yet, but he's way up there in the points and always consistently running in the front here.
Yeah, and now you're starting to see him with those fresher tires from saving this whole race. Now he's moved around right into 3rd position without any problem. And suddenly we only have 22 laps to go. This race has been one of the fastest one we've had all year, that's for sure. Nelson leading the way, trying to get his first victory of the season. And you see those guys still using that bottom yellow line to help their cars rotate to the corner. Nelson preferring that high line, the 4-car of Morton, the low line, and he's slightly trying to reel in Nelson, which he's doing. I think Nelson has a better lines through 3 and 4, and I think Morton's car is working better in 1 and 2.
And you see that the 16 of Campbell just barely missed a 4 there, crossing him over to the outside. 4-car is really pushing that thing, trying to get up to Nelson the 2nd, but he continues to push that thing beyond his handling ability. That may open a window for Campbell to slide in.
And Campbell's just waiting. If Campbell has anything, he needs to lay it on the table right now. Yep. And I think he's doing that, but I think Morton is just fast enough to give Campbell enough problems, or Campbell's going to burn up his stuff. But I think Campbell's probably one of the strongest cars right now. However, Morton, even though he's brushed the walls a few times, he's still letting it all hang out. And if you watch what Nelson is doing, Nelson is riding his right rear tire. He's driving up the corner, letting that right rear tire rotate his car through the corner. Watch this. On the gas, rotates that sucker right around for him. He's getting a great run off the turns 1 and 3 and 4. And I think his car is definitely starting to handle a little bit better too, because you see him running a little bit lower lines through 1 and 2 as well. 16 laps to go, and Nelson's going to have the victory. 15 this time.
Yeah, and Campbell's in a tough spot because, I mean, you want to try to get past Morton at some point, but you also want to allow Morton to try to drive to the back of Nelson if you can, because the more time you spend fighting at this point, the further away Nelson gets. But basically, they're just running out of laps, so Campbell might be looking to do something here shortly.
I think Campbell knows he can't catch Nelson, but he can pass Morton. Now, Campbell has been, every single race, he has been points racing. He's been very cautious, just kind of saving his whole time and waiting, and now you're starting to see him look lower. He has more tire than that 4-car of Morton does, and he's going to try to make the pass with probably 5 laps to go here, take over that 2nd position, and that's going to be a great points night for him. 12 laps to go now, working his way up. Now what he's doing, and Campbell in the 16, is he knows how the passing goes here. it takes more than one lap to really set up a good pass. So he's just working Morton, letting Morton burn off his stuff just a little bit more. If you notice, he's looking, not really pushing too hard, although you did just see him get a little bit squirrely
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
And that allowed Stafford to just close in a little bit. But there's no way, I don't care how good of a driver you are, there's no way Stafford has anything left.
Yeah, I think Stafford's just holding on here. Will be happy with the top 5 at this point. Made a gutsy call earlier and didn't really pan out how he was expecting. But you see the 16 there again, crossover to the 4th, trying to get the outside and momentum coming through the transition here. Yeah, and he just does not have the speed to get up to the 4. The only thing I can think of is if you can send it down low on the 4 and force him up into those marbles that we were looking at during the caution, you might be able to get your power down sooner than the 4 coming out of the transition, or the inner track rather. But not much time left. 7 laps to go here.
Well, I just saw Stafford give it one last hurrah right there. He really came down in there. I thought he was going to drive right through him. He's not done giving up yet, but McPeak, he's working his way out the 69. He's right behind him. And Griswold in a 00 having a great run right now. He's in 6th spot. See that battle continuing right there. See the 1 car of Myers and Hummel battle.
Yep, couple battles back. Just trying to keep an eye on Campbell here to see if he really pushes the issue. 5 laps to go here at Irwindale. This race has just flown by.
Yeah, I think Campbell may have burnt up his stuff. Morton has been excellent all race. He's been in the top 5. I don't think he ever went below it except for during pit stops. And he's run a brilliant race. He's got a second. He's a second behind Nelson, who's just kind of running away with this thing. Nelson is loving seeing those guys battle. He just wants to get around these lap cars and just finish this race. And this is going to be a great victory for him.
Yeah, the last thing that could possibly happen here is his lap car slows up Morton just enough for Campbell to get up to him, but it looks like the lap car is able to stay out of the line, and Morton's going to continue to be able to pull ahead of Campbell here. 2 laps to go here.
Just want to get to that white flag. That's all we need to hit. See that 91 car going through, still using that bottom line, coming off the corner. 1 lap to go for the 91 and Nelson. Coming off of turn number 1 and 2, he's still running that high line. You see the 81 going down low. Nelson's just going to stay behind him. No need to push the issue. He's going to come across. Here comes Nelson for his first victory of the season in the 91 car.
Yep, great drive by Nelson there. You saw his tires fall off in that first half of the race. Was really pushing that race car, but he was able to manage those tires and finish strong here at Irwindale and get a great first win for him. Able to hold off all the competitors behind him, just sheer speed. So great job by Nelson.
See if you have any burnout skills.
See if we can pull up the standings here. As Nelson burns it down there, let's just run through these real quick before our driver interviews. Obviously Nelson finishing 1st place tonight here at Irwindale. Mark Morton will be finishing 2nd, Nathaniel Campbell 3rd, Patrick McPeak 4th, Joe Stafford 5th, Garth Griswold 6th, Zach Hummel 7th, Richard Myers 8th, Carson Klinghoffer 9th, Aaron Longworth 10th. And then we have Ledger 11th, Martin 12th, Deach 13th, Noah Hunt 14th, Bob Baker 15th, Joe Gibbons 16th, Jacob Quill 17th, and Cody Porter 18th, though I don't believe Cody started the race. So, but with that said, let me see if I have any drivers in the podium channel. Man, that was a great race. Obviously, not many cautions compared to previous weeks, so we got to see a lot of great green flag racing.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be a quick race. I set the over under on 15, and I got to be honest with you. As soon as I said that, I'm like, there's no way they're going to have 15 caution flags. So, um, yeah, these guys ran a nice, clean race. And that 91 car was impressive, had his issues a couple of times, brushed the outside wall, was able to battle back, and he was the class of the field. And I still think that's one of the nicest looking race cars on the track. So congratulations to Nelson 3.
Yeah.
Again, another great job by Morton in the fourth car. Campbell with a great run again. Campbell's running a championship campaign this year. He's just been very steady. McPeak with a great finish. He got around Stafford and Griswold. He was battling with them. So McPeak is a driver. I mentioned him before, how fast he is. I was kind of surprised that he didn't move up early in the race. I don't know if he got involved in other issues, but Jonathan Ledger finishes just outside the 10th position. Good run for him. And Martin in that 55, we're going to have to talk to him about that paint scheme. If he's going to run the name Martin on the car, he's going to have to get his approval for ugly paint schemes from me, I think.
Yep, and it looks like we
I
have the competitors in the podium. Third place, Nathaniel Campbell. Let's get him pulled up for a quick driver interview. Give me 1 second. Move. Broadcast. Mr. Campbell, you're in the booth. You got us?
Hello, hello.
Hey, yeah, we were watching that thing. Great green flag racing there. We're wondering if you're gonna be able to get the pass done on Mark Martin at the end there, but it seems like your car just didn't have quite enough tire left.
Yeah, I don't know if it didn't have enough tire or if there just wasn't enough time really to make that move happen.
Mm,
I think maybe if it was a little bit earlier in the race, I definitely would have been able to have the time to make that move. I think the tire was still there in the car. It felt good all night, honestly, and I didn't really feel like I needed to do anything different on what I was doing all night compared to, in practice and everything. So everything went pretty smoothly tonight. Little weird thing kind of happened on pit road at the competition caution, but other than that, really smooth night overall. And I'll take a great third place finish here, my best finish so far this season. So I'll take that.
yeah, we were just mentioning that. It seems like you're pretty high up in the points. Let me double check here. Uh, for the West Series, we have you at
I think I'm in second right now.
yep, second place. So without a podium finish, second place, that's just consistency week after week. So third place finish tonight will definitely add a lot of points to that. And uh, Joe Stafford finishing behind you might just be enough for you to move ahead. We'll have to wait and see. But how did the car feel out there tonight? We were keeping an eye on those transitions. Were those tricky to navigate?
Honestly, once I kind of got it down in my practice sessions and everything, it felt really good and just really comfortable. For some reason, a lot of other people were having a little bit of uh like major struggles with it, but I didn't
Hmm.
feel too bad about it. I just kind of let the car roll and it would do its thing. And once I got back onto the throttle, it was like it was magic.
Gotcha. And did everyone practice the correct track? Because I did see in the Discord before I launched this sucker that
That
some
could
people
be,
were
yeah, that could be a thing. Maybe they were misled, but the sessions were up, so
yeah. I saw some people talking about that. It should have just been the outer track, but no, it looks like we purposely selected the outer inner, and I think we had some great racing because of it.
yeah. I mean, obviously we'll have another race here a little bit later in the season. It's going to be on a double header night, like last week, but with
Hmm.
Charlotte instead. So we'll actually go to the regular outer track. So I think that'll be a really fun one, and I'm hoping that I can maybe take this third place here and take a little bit of something what I learned in 1 and 2 on the regular track.
Yeah, absolutely. Just keep on building, and you'll be in victory lane soon. Bill, do you have anything for him?
No, Nathan, it seemed like you were saving for most of that race. And towards the end there, how much of that were you saving compared to were you trying to really just get around the four car?
I would say those last 20 laps, I was definitely on it. I was sliding around pretty good. It felt like I don't know if it translated onto the broadcast, but it at least felt like I was slide in pretty big every now and then. But yeah, no, I would say most of the race, especially up to that midway break, for sure, I was saving tire. I was even on the fence of maybe not taking tires at all tonight because it kind of felt like I was going to be able to keep pace. But once I saw everybody else pitting, I was like, yeah, probably I should go take the tires right now. And it
Well,
also stayed green, so it helped out.
well, we saw Stafford try. He pitted on lap 45, and his fall off was pretty drastic. So I think you made the right call.
Yeah, I think so too.
Well,
Well,
congratulations, kid. Great run.
Thank you, thank you.
yeah, great job on the P3. Any shout outs you want to give before you head out, Nathan? Nathaniel?
You could call me whatever. But I would just like to say thanks to Corey for putting on this league. Obviously, it's awesome to be around here. But other than that, thanks to the guys at Hollywood Motorsports for staying along and racing with me and hoping to help the team get better. And obviously, huge news this week: signing Mike Burnett. Welcome back, Mike.
He's
Definitely gonna have fun.
back.
Definitely gonna have fun with him back in the car, and he'll be in the 16. Maybe I might be able to pull him to get a couple of truck starts here and there. I know you like those cars, so.
Yep.
But yeah, other than that, thanks to just want to say myself because I put in the work.
Oh,
and,
shit.
I was just yeah.
Well, I thank you too. You definitely do a great job putting all these everything you see on this stream, people. This is the mastermind behind it.
Yeah, Nathan Campbell.
He uploads all of the assets, all the videos, everything you see is a product of his ability and craft for broadcasting and his excellent attention to details. So great to see that shine through on the racetrack tonight, finishing P3 tonight here at Irwindale. You have a great rest of your evening, and you're driving Tuesday, right?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Of course.
He'll be out there
I'll be
Tuesday,
there
Xfinity at Darlington, so we'll keep eye on you there.
I'll be back up in the booth on Wednesday night with Bill, so I'll see you all probably then for sure. I don't know about Tuesday. We'll see.
All right, man. Sounds good. You have a good rest of your evening.
All right. See you guys.
See ya. That was Mr. Campbell, driver of the 16 car, finally able to get it done, finishing on podium, third place. And honestly, I think this is up for from here. He's just going to keep building on this and continue to improve.
Yeah, and also the extremely popular Radioactive we have every night, every week in the Cup Series.
Yep,
is done by Mr. Campbell himself. So it puts a ton of time in, and we wouldn't have a lot of the great things we have if it wasn't for him. So thank you very much for that, Nathan.
Yep, absolutely. All right, moving on to second position, Mark Morton, driver of the 4 car. Mr. Morton, you're in the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir. I got you.
So great finish tonight, P2. We were holding our breath, seeing if you're going to have enough to catch up to Nelson there, but it seemed like he just had a bit of pace there at the end, and you weren't able to close the gap. But P2, nothing to sneeze at. That's a great finish for you.
Oh no, most definitely. Don't let looks can be deceiving. He's a team owner, so I was letting him have one, and I I was holding off Nathaniel. So I was like, yeah, I'll let him have it. No, I'm just kidding. He that second half of the race, he was definitely the class of the field. I now know that the outside on turn 1 and 2 was the way to go because you were not burning up as much tire as I was when I was cutting down like that.
Yeah, so you ran the traditional strategy of you got tires at the halfway point, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it seemed like there was a couple of other strategy calls. Joe Stafford electing to get tires early in the 40s, lap 40s. But it definitely seemed like the play was to try to get tires at halfway point just so you would have enough for the end. Did you feel any tire fall off, or was it kind of more so just you were able to find a good line to stay up there in second?
Yeah, you definitely could. There was definitely a fall off after that first 75 laps. It was about, I think my right front was 86, my right rear was 91, so I was definitely cooking my right front. I think Stafford may have went in because I think he may have stuffed the wall, and
You did what?
May have the damage and whatnot, but I mean, I know he was even with that damage, he was definitely still up there with us, and I was hoping that. Honestly, I was glad he was behind me because week in and week out, he's always up front. I always hate seeing his bumper. I have Womp Womp specifically just for him on the back of my bumper. So when I do pass him, he can read Womp Womp. But, fortunately, he had somewhat of a bad race today, and I don't remember where he finished at.
Gotcha. Bill, do you have anything for Mark?
Yeah, Mark, your car seemed to really rotate through the center of the corners down low. What was your secret to being able to get the car to rotate down low? Everybody else had to go up high.
Definitely 3/4 throttle around the like I never really went full throttle going into the turns, coming off the turns.
Thank you very much.
Oh, well, no, my bad. I kind of rush that standard around the corners. I have like a little glitch to where it looks like I'm rotating, but I really just rush that standard all the way around.
Oh, in the beginning of the race, I said one of the keys is not to go full throttle during this race.
Yeah, he did.
And so you just said it. With these new cars, it gives you so much more forgiveness on that right rear. Are you surprised at how much fall off there was on the right front compared to the right rear?
Yes and no. I know with how I line, I was kind of apexing the corner coming out of the turns. So in a way, yes, I was really surprised that there was more fall off in the right front than no, not really. I was definitely cooking my right front because I was from apex in the corner.
Well, hey, you had a hell of a run, man. Congratulations on a strong second place finish.
I really appreciate it, boss.
Yep, great run tonight, Mark. You have a good one. Are you going to be racing on Tuesday?
Yes, sir, most definitely. Darlington is one of my favorite tracks, and hopefully I don't get the 3 incident penalty DQ again this week.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, it kind of nipped me in the butt there because I definitely felt like I had a top 4 car.
Yeah, I hear you, man. We'll be on the lookout, and good luck Tuesday, and you have a great rest of your evening.
I really appreciate it. I do want to let you guys know I am throwing a Mark Morton paint scheme. So if you guys come on me, it's not Mark Morton, it's Mark Morton always.
All right.
All right, man. Thank you so much. Have a good evening.
Thank you guys, you as well.
That was Mark Martin, driver of the 4 car, finishing P2 tonight. Great finish for him. He had a great race last week too.
Yeah. Yep. He is a strong runner, man. Strong runner.
All right. We're going to pull in Waylon Nelson II, finishing first place tonight. Bill, if you just want to take this interview off, and I'll be right back. Sorry. Give me 1 second. I'll pull Nelson up, though. Here you go.
All right.
Nelson, you're in the booth. Do you got us?
Yes, sir.
All right. Bill's going to ask you a couple questions here.
All right.
Hey, Nelson, you had a couple of problems brushing the wall. But it seemed like once you got your car working, that higher lines through 1 and 2 is what just won you the race. Congratulations. What you think?
Thank you. Yeah, it was just a line that I just experimented with in practice, and in qualifying I tried it out, and in qualifying it really paid off because I got the track position like I wanted to. Started up front, was able to stay up front. Because the last couple tracks I just sucked in qualifying and just got stuck in the back, got caught up in a couple things. But track position here is what really played a key into winning this race.
That was going to be my second question. How difficult was it to pass out there? And since you just answered that question, when you were coming off the back straightaway, entering turn 3 and 4, entering turn 3, how much did that transmission from the higher line to the lower line throw off your car?
To me, it didn't really bother me because of the way I ran. Like, as soon as I come out of 2, I'd immediately let off the throttle and I would just ride the brakes getting into 3. So it just kind of be easy, and I'd just get down there and just roll through the corner.
And how about coming off the corner? Did the white and yellow line, did you lose traction at all coming off the corner with that?
I did every so often. I try to have to catch it coming off of there, and it gave me a ride, but it didn't affect it as bad as I thought it would.
Yeah. And now that paint scheme, I've been talking about it since the green flag. Who came up with that paint scheme?
Actually, I did. I'm actually the team owner and the team painter for Team 9. So all the paints that you see on the cars, I've done myself.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, that the kid in the 4 car behind you, he said that, he could have easily passed you. He was much faster than you. He said he's much better looking. And he said, because you were the team owner, you made him not pass. You made him stay
He
in
wa-
second. Is
he
that
was being
true? Or is
nice.
he just
Yeah.
talking?
Oh no, he's just talking, man. I wouldn't make him do that. I told him, hey, if he got up to me, he could take it. But I just had the line figured out, and me and him were actually in a call together. And he about 15 to go, he said, "Hey man, you've got it. There's nothing I can do. I can't catch you."
Yeah, he had a great car. He was very smooth tonight, very impressive. A great second place finish for him. So team owner gets 1 and 2. You can't really ask for
Yeah.
much better than that.
No, yeah, you really can't. It was awesome. I can't really remember where a few of my other drivers finished. The 69, that's another one of my drivers. He finished fourth. We had another one that was running up there, the number 25, but he had some damage. He got his nose took off, and he just couldn't really drive it.
Oh, you know what? That was such that was a heartbreaker.
Yeah.
He
Klinghoffer.
he
Yep.
got bumped and spun around, and that was it. And it was so hard to watch because he was very fast and he was running great. And for a kid his age, he seemed to have a lot more experience than what you would imagine from a kid that age.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, when I first hired him, man, I mean he's been fast from the get go. I mean he's got speed anywhere he goes,
Yep.
and it's crazy to me. Just like Mark. Mark is another one of those drivers. It seems to not matter what track it is, he's gonna be fast.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to see that number 25 in victory lane by the end of the year. I really do. That kid's got some talent, I think, and so doesn't the 4 car of Morton. There's every guy on your team has got talent. You've got a great team, and you beat out some great drivers. I mean, look behind you, Campbell, who kind of blew your 1, 2, 3 finish. He's an excellent driver in every series, so you had him to deal with. Stafford and Griswold, those are the Cup regulars. So you guys had your hands full, and you came out on top.
Yeah, I really did. When Stafford started on the pole, I thought it was just going to be a one and done, and he's just going to leave me. But I mean, he just, I guess that paint got to him in 3 and 4, and he ended up hitting the wall, and I think he got wheel damage, and he just got stuck in the back, and it was really hard to pass here. You had to set it up, and if you didn't set it up just right, you couldn't get past him.
Yeah, yeah. Well, where do you go from here with a 1, 2? You finish first, second, and fourth. Where do you go from here next race?
Just keep the momentum flowing, and we're gonna hopefully we can get all the drivers in, and we can have a top 5 finish for all Team 9. Because currently, I think we have 7 drivers signed on to the team.
Yeah.
Then I think
Well,
the next race for ARCA series will be Rockingham Speedway. Are you on the 20th of April? Are you guys planning on being there?
Oh yeah, yeah. We plan on being there. We plan on trying to be at every race we can be. Um, I'll actually be at the Xfinity race in Rockingham driving for a team, so that's gonna be real fun trying to figure that out.
Yeah. Yeah, that track's
yeah.
definitely
Well,
has a bunch of challenges just getting around there. So be interesting to see how you guys utilize these new cars and get around that track. But I kind of came in late to this interview. I was gonna ask, so that first stint, that first half of the race, it seemed like you had a bit of tire fall off. Were you just pushing it too hard initially, or what?
Yeah, that's all it was. I was pushing it too hard and just tearing my stuff up. And before I knew it, they were pulling off away from me, and I couldn't catch them. And so that's when I started strategizing in my own head. Okay, well, I can't use this line because it's going to eat my stuff up. And
Right.
then that's where I started running the high line in 1 and 2. Because I mean, I was barely turning the wheel in 1 and 2.
Gotcha. Well, great finish tonight, P1. Sorry, Bill, did you have something else? I felt like I was cutting you off there.
oh, nope, not at all, buddy. I was just about ready to wrap it up when you came in, so it was perfect timing.
Well, awesome. Yeah, great finish for you and your team. Looking forward to, you're going to be driving on Tuesday.
Yes, for the Rockingham race.
But this Tuesday is this Tuesday at Rockingham or Darlington for Xfinity?
Darlington.
Darlington, okay. But so you're not going to be out there on Tuesday though. I just been asking
No.
everyone's. Okay.
Nah, but I'll be out there in spirit with Mark because obviously he drives for my team, and
Right.
even if he doesn't drive for my team, I'm still going to be there for him because he is one of my drivers and he's a good friend of mine too.
Yep, I hear you, man. Well, cool, great finish tonight. Went in here at Irwindale. It's basically a ghost track now because I think they've torn it up, but still a blast to drive, and it was a blast for us in the booth to watch you guys get around this track. Not nearly as many cautions as we've seen in the past couple of weeks, so a lot of great green flag racing. So great job on that, and great job on your win.
Thank you.
Cool. Well, you have a great rest of your evening, and we'll be sure to keep an eye on your team this week here at Darlington, and we'll be sure to keep an eye on you guys moving forward here on the ARCA series as well. Have a good one.
Yes, sir. You too.
That was Waylon Nelson II, driver of the 91 car, winning tonight here at the California Dreamin' 150 at Irwindale Speedway. The inner-outer configuration definitely was a challenging tall order for a lot of the drivers. You saw a lot of them get into that outer wall coming out of the inside of the track. So just great driving all around from everyone in the league here at Irwindale. Bill, do you have any closing thoughts on the race tonight?
No, what was the final tally on yellow flags?
I think it was 5, and I think one of those was the halfway point. So really
Was
only
the
4
halfway
natural
point.
cautions. Yeah.
Yeah. So we knew it was going to be a better race, different type of track, more wide open. It was a great race. I enjoyed it. It was fun to talk about. It was good to see different strategies and how they played out. Congratulations to everybody in this race, and especially that 91 team.
Yes, sir. And thank you everyone for joining us tonight. We had some great viewage there for a little bit throughout the race. Obviously, this ARCA series is an open series, so if you saw some fun racing and you want to be a part of it, feel free to join the Discord, CJR Discord, and come out for the ARCA series. It's an open series, so anyone and everyone is welcome to join. And you might just find yourself in an Xfinity or Cup car if you drive well enough. And additionally, the truck series too. So be sure to make it out for these races and then show your stuff. But with that, I think we're going to wrap it up for tonight. Thank you guys for joining the stream and watching the race. And we'll be back. Don't believe there's a truck race this week. Let me double check.
Nope. I actually won't be back for a couple of weeks because I'll be away.
Yeah, well, you have a great time on your trip. And checking here, it looks like the VRS Truck Series next race is the 14th of April. So no trucks tomorrow, but this week on the 8th of April, Darlington Raceway for the Xfinity cars, the Crown Royal Purple Bag Project 200 will be taking place 8:30 Eastern Time. And then the following day, Wednesday, Majors Garage Cup Goodyear 250 at Darlington Raceway will also be 8:30 Eastern Time. So be sure to come out for those and support the stream, support the league, and support your favorite driver. But as for tonight, thank you guys very much for joining, and y'all have a great rest of your evening.
We'll see you.